Recently, I've been going through some pretty transformational changes in my life, trying to figure out what I really want, what drives me, and what gives me a sense of purpose. Along the way, I came across the concept of Ikigai, and it helped me to connect the dots in ways I never expected. And in this video, I'll show you how you can use the Ikigai method to find your own sense of purpose, whether you're feeling stuck or just looking for some positive changes in your life. So Ikigai is a Japanese term that can be roughly translated to a reason for being or a reason to wake up in the morning. And it represents the joy and purpose that come from living a life that aligns with your passions, skills, and the needs of the world. The main idea behind this method is finding the intersection between four key areas: what you love, what you're good at, what you can be paid for, and what the world needs. Now let's break it down and try to answer these questions. So now looking at these four circles, I think what you love is probably the easiest one, provided that you have at least some sense of self-awareness. If you don't know what you love, that's first of all completely fine, and maybe think about activities or topics that make you feel alive and excite you. Maybe another prompt you can think about is what activities make you lose track of time because you enjoy them so much. And maybe what topics or hobbies excite you. And maybe think, if money wasn't a concern, what would you spend your time doing? And I love this thought experiment, and from my experience of doing this Ikigai exercise, I realized that if I had all the money in the world, I would probably change a thing or two in my day-to-day life, and I would do some other things instead perhaps, which was a good indicator of unveiling things that I truly love. So the next circle is what you're good at, and this is about your strength, your talents, your skills. It could be related to your job or training or something that you practice a lot. And if you're unsure what you're good at, maybe think about what do people often come to you for help with. Or maybe what skills come to you naturally. Or maybe what activities make you feel confident and capable. And you can also ask friends or colleagues for feedback to help identify your strength. Now, sometimes for some people there is a big overlap between what you love and what you're good at. And I would say, generally speaking, that's probably a good indicator that you are more or less aligned with your passions, so that's good. But for the sake of this exercise, I would still recommend making a distinction between the two. And maybe in case of what you love, think about your childhood experience and things that you're not necessarily doing it at the moment, but you used to love doing them. So try to remember those things, as they might still bring you joy. Now, moving on to the next circle, what you can be paid for. And this is about turning your passions or skills into something that provides financial security. And I want you to think about what you can be paid for, not necessarily right now, but in general or potentially, or what other opportunities lie ahead. Maybe, for example, you can think about what services or products could you offer that people would be willing to pay for? Are there any jobs or even industries that align with your skills and passions? Or maybe think, can you monetize a hobby through freelancing or providing some services? I think overall we live in a very good time where technologies and connectedness of the world can help to turn pretty much any passion into a source of income. Now moving on to the last circle, what the world needs, and this is about connecting your work or efforts to a larger purpose. And maybe, for example, you can think about what problems or issues in the world bother you, or what change would you like to see in your community, country, or the world, or how can you help others? And I want to be honest, when I was doing this Ikigai exercise, this whole part of what the world needs felt a bit abstract. And like, what the world is, well, I have no idea. But what helped me is to replace the word world for people. And from there, you can narrow it down to maybe a specific group of people, like your town or like your neighborhood. Or maybe you can think about even one person, and that person could be you as well. Maybe try to look back a few years ago and think what problems you had that you now solved. And I believe people's needs aren't that unique, so if you had some problem, chances are that other people might have it as well, and since you solved it for yourself, then it means you can help others. And I think there is something nice about helping people. It's almost as if it's biologically in us in human. So even though this whole part of what the world needs may feel a little bit abstract, finding that answer for you might unlock the fulfillment that you need. Now, as you go through the process of discovering your Ikigai and finding the intersection between these four areas, remember that it's okay if you don't have all the answers right away. It's definitely a process, and it's a journey of self-discovery that takes time and reflection. One tip I found helpful is to revisit your answers, because our passions, skills, or even what the world needs can evolve as we grow. So don't be afraid to adapt and change those answers over time. Another thing to keep in mind that Ikigai isn't about perfection. It's about finding a balance that feels right for you. Even small steps toward living in alignment with your Ikigai can make a big difference in your sense of purpose and happiness. So take it one step at a time and be kind to yourself in the process. Now, if you're looking to take things a step further and put your purpose into action, I've got another video that might help. It's all about my productivity framework and how I use it to stay focused and organized while pursuing my goals. And well, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.